What's up, everybody? Big Hurt, fresh out. You tuned into another edition of Prison Talk. I have here with me Greg, aka G-Bo from Skyline Peru in San Diego, helping me answer some questions because a lot of times you guys ask questions and I don't have the answer, so I have him here to kind of like expound on a few things that I can't really touch on. Greg, man, people ask us about what's the policy on paperwork? Having people like, what is paperwork? What is paperwork? And somebody else said, oh man, I keister my paperwork. So when I show up on the yard, I have my paperwork. Can you explain a little bit about paperwork and how that works in the prison system?
Yeah, what's up, Big Hurt? A lot of times you hit the prison yard. We need to know what's going on with you. By paperwork, meaning I need to see your paperwork. For one, we need to make sure that you ain't snitched on nobody, so we got to see that. If you get, if you snitched on somebody, we gonna deal with you, or we gonna kick you off the yard immediately. You gotta go. If you refuse, this is something else, you're gonna get dealt with, or you can have some other kind of paperwork. We don't deal with people with paperwork with rapes and stuff like that on their jacket. So we see that immediately.
Pedophile?
Yeah, pedophile. We child molester or something. We on you. You know what I mean? So we gonna send somebody, quite a few of them, to be on you and whoop on you and then get you up off the yard. So those two things that we're deep on and serious about. A person could lose their life behind paperwork. There's a lot of people that are out there now. This gang stuff is so watered down now that you got some real ones that rolled over. I had a situation on the 4-yard Donovan one time where somebody yelling across the yard, that they had paperwork on one of my homeboys, and me and the other homie was like, hey man, don't be yelling that across the yard, and he produced the paperwork, and our homeboy came that was on another yard, right? He came over there to take out trash, and he came with the paperwork. So me and the homie looking at the paperwork, and we like, and let me back up. Prior to him producing the paperwork, but he was mouthing it. So my homeboy came with the paperwork, and we leaving this like, we don't see him snitching on it. We see him telling on himself. You know what I mean? So when, we shot a kite over there, and next thing you know, we see the paperwork that he brought. So the homie must have left out a page, like page 7 and then 9. So where's page 8 at, right? So, we see this real paperwork now. So we sent the kite over there to the 2-yard, and one of the other homies said, hey, man, you got to get off the yard, man. And he was the real one that put in a lot of work, man. He had some things up under his belt that, I can't speak on. But we got paperwork on him. So he had a choice, he's going to get dealt with to get off the yard. So they got him off the yard. And he went to another prison, but that stuff follows you. It don't matter what prison you go to, it's going to follow you around state of California. So he ended up going to another prison, and he thought he was going to walk the mainline GP, and he was way up north too. Oh yeah, they dealt with him.
I tell people, man, it's like I think it's a Filthy Rich song, or maybe a Mozzie or a June song, but they talk about like, oh man, this guy was a gangster, he was a killer, he was this and that. But he snitched, so it's all done. It goes out the window. Once you snitch, it voids all your gangsterism. It avoids it. Because, like you said, I seen a dude on the yard, and he was like, big so-and-so. He lifting all the weight pile and whoop-de-wop, and he, one of the major hitters. Yep. And then, dude, somebody showed up. Next thing you know, man, that dude they booked him quick. Yep. So when they found the paperwork, like you said, the paperwork, once it came out, it immediately went from being the homie to all bad.
Yep, it's over. It's like night and day, and like I said, this was a real one, man. This was one of the ones in my era, that a lot of people know him more than they know me. You know what I mean? Yeah, but it is what it is. Once you see a paperwork, it's over. Your career, he told one of the homeboys, they told me later on, he said, man, all the stripes I got, you gonna snatch them off me? He said, man, I don't mean nothing no more.
Yeah, avoided all that.
It's over with. Yeah, that one vicious mistake. That's all it takes.
And could you explain a little bit to the people about the difference in like the different sects within like black? You like people say blood, Pyru, Damu, and for those who don't know, who just oh man, I'm a blood from so and so, that just they play make believe out there. Explain the difference.
I'll be honest with you, Big Hurt. To a lot of that stuff to me is just new generation stuff. Also because from Skyline, we Eastside Pyrus. We're bloods. You know what I mean? We're Pyru blood. So it was the same all in one.
Okay.
Now they're starting to flip stuff because sets get so big that they we bloods over here, we Skyline bloods or whatever. Well, we're Pyrus. So the real ones will tell them and set them straight and give them the knowledge of what it is. And a Damu, the words Damu is another word for a blood. You know what I mean? Just like a Crips call themselves Kiwis. A lot of people don't understand what's a Kiwi. Kiwi is a Crip. So instead of we saying, yeah, that Crip over there, a blood might say, yeah, that Kiwi over there, because they don't want to say the word Crip. You know what I mean? A Crip might say the word, yeah, that Damu over there, because they don't want to say blood. You know what I mean? That's the original difference. Whatever they trying to twist it into now, I don't know, but we've been Pyrus from late 70s, man, and Eastside Pyrus. That's what Skyline was.
And I tell people a lot of the beefs in prison is usually over debt, and so drugs or it's owing somebody. I mean, I had a homie one time where one of his people got caught up in something. So in order to not kick off a riot, because they couldn't check the dude in or check themselves in, they had to pay off the debt. I had to send him some money to help him out, because it's like, dude, either this or it's gonna be all bad for him. So it's serious, man. The debts and people on the gambling table. What have you seen in your experience as one of the main factors that cause shit to kick off?
You just said it, man. The drug debt is the number one thing that it to this day it still exists. And the phones. Let me tell you something funny about the phones, because the phones are in the system just like drugs in the system. Half the time the COs bring it in because they greedy and they getting their money.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But however, whatever, it's there. So now you got a person on the phone and the phone makes money for them. So let's say you got a phone and we want to borrow it. We want to use it. We want to get an hour's phone time. You're going to charge us $10 worth of Zuzus and Wham Whams to use your phone for an hour. Now, I had my one cat from Lincoln. He decided he gonna use the phone from the West Side Pyru LA dude. Let him use his phone, cause dude from Lincoln got his phone taken. He went to the hole, came back. Now they don't have a phone, so he used the dude's phone. And one night, dude from West Side Pyru came to me. He said, "G-Bo, let me holler at you, man." I said, "What's happening, man?" He said, "Your boy is foul, man. Your boy is foul." What are you talking about, man? I let such and such use the phone, and he started trying to cupcake at my girl. I said, "You trying to get at your girl?" He said, "Yeah, man, because she called me and told me who was that they just used your phone, and they was trying to he read out the number."
Oh, wow. he pulling one of them moves on the street.
Yeah, he read out the number. And because they came over to my bunk, and they was like gloved up, right?
Yeah.
There was like 4 of them. I'm like, he said, "Your boy foul." I said, well, hold on, let me go holler at him, right? So I went to go holler at him. Man, what's going on, man? The dude said, "You try to get at this girl." Oh, G-Bo, when they start with that stuff, you already know it's real.
Oh, G-Bo.
Yeah,
he about to start a lie.
Yeah, he about to lie. So now I'm like, oh, man, look, man.
That's all bad.
I said, look, man, I'm going to tell you something, man. You can get that fair one, but I'm gonna let them know they ain't gonna jump on you, homie. I'm gonna let you know right now. I'm not gonna let them jump on you, So I gotta round up my homeboys, because they from Lincoln and we don't get along no more.
Yeah.
the OG from Lincoln and Skyline get along because we was back to back in the days, but some stuff happened and we don't get along with them. The youngsters don't really like them. So I hollered at my people and said, look, man, we ain't gonna let nothing happen to him. So I had to go holler at the dude from West Side Pirate Room, say, hey man, you want that fair fade with him? You can get that fair fade because he didn't admit it, but I know he did it because the way he got at me, right? So I can let you guys are not gonna jump on him, though, homie. So he squashed it. I guess the dude from West Side Pirate Room just like, since we ain't gonna let him jump on him, he ain't gonna get down with him. So that was that. But that and the drugs. The drugs is the number one thing because what happens is a lot of people, get strung out on these drugs. They calling their people, and they people on the street is sending them their money with these green dot cards and all that, and then they people, run out of money. They run out of money to pay. They don't know they're paying these drug debts.
Yeah.
They thinking they sending the money so they can go to the store and buy food.
Yeah.
He's over here strung out. And then next thing you know, they money don't hit. So when the dope man money don't hit, there's a problem.
So you go check that card, it ain't on there.
And we tell all our homeboys when they first come in there, hey, you see the homies from Skyline, that's the big homie G, blah, 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 and that's such and such. Okay, we don't run drug debts up. We let them know. We don't do none of that. You know what I mean? And back in the day, Big Hurt, we didn't even mess with drugs, period, while you're incarcerated. You know what I mean? I never did. I couldn't do, let me not lie. I smoked some weed while I was incarcerated before. But all that running up drug debts, no. We don't do that.
How much money you think is being made off of drugs in prison? That's a lot of money, man.
Oh, my God, man.
That's big money, huh?
Hey, Big Hurt. Because, I'm picking up people from prison, so I'm still hearing these stories and stuff, man. And there's some COs that got walked off the yards because they was bringing it in. They had this little organization going because, they messing with some of these criminal-minded dudes that slide up under them and said, here, they had a cold little operation going on where they was getting it in and they was making thousands. I mean, they got boats, Harleys. Yeah, real talk. They got real money that's just going through there so fast. Put it this way, and now I've been out 9 years. So back in 2010, before I got out, phones was going for anywhere between $500 and $1,500 just for a phone, not an iPhone. We're talking about one of them
flip phone.
One of the flip over phones, and the drugs was like. I knew a few people that getting their money doing their thing. Now, I sold tobacco when I was incarcerated one time. I
remember tobacco hustle.
Yeah, and it's a hustle, and it's just picture this: a little ball of tobacco, which a whole can is $22 at Walmart or something. $800 in prison. $22 on the streets. $800 in prison. So you can imagine what the drug.
From 22 to 800, that's crazy.
800.
Exactly. For tobacco.
Tobacco, right. And they're selling hotcakes.
Yeah, I remember because when they banned it, dudes bought up all the cans and they hit them all over the institution.
Right.
And then they were selling them. Yeah. They were selling them little balls.
Right.
And the guards always looking for them everywhere.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's a crazy hustle. I remember a cat was telling me he was a CO. And he said they walked the CO out of the prison he was at, but the dude was selling cell phones. He said he made $250,000 a year.
And I can believe it because they, if you think about it, 1,500. And this is, sometimes you got to hit them hot spots, some way out prisons that don't have access. Because if it's a normal prison, it still can go like 800. So let's just say the middle, 800 a pop for a phone. Now you got a little rabbit that's running up. Some girl may be bringing it in at your visits. It might not even be a CO. It might be somebody on the house bringing it in. More than likely, it's a CO. So they bring it in. Let's say they bring it in 10 at a time. That's 8 racks right there for 10 phones. 8 racks. Let's say you bring it in, twice a month. 16 racks a month, right there. You know,
That's big money.
Yeah, that's big money. You can make $200,000 just by phones alone. Not to mention the dope.
Exactly.
And the cold part about it is I'm put this out there too, because I seen people with their phone taking, they go to the hole, and they come back, and somebody else got their phone on the yard. And the reason why we know is because people engrave their initials on their phone. You can't scratch off those initials on their phone. Do they put it in a certain way? Okay, you got the homie over here. Hey, that used to be my. He can't be mad at you because the COs caught you with your phone and took your phone and they resold it. Real
wow,
talk.
So they recycling the hustle.
Real talk, recycling the phone and getting paid for it. Yeah, incredible.
That's crazy, man. So you guys think people up in prison are broke, man? There's a lot of money circulating up in there that people don't know about. I told them, I mean, you got guys in there doing everything from the cell phones to the drugs, the bookies with the gambling. Yeah. You know, there's a lot of hustles. And I ain't snitching on nothing you guys don't already know. They know all this stuff, man. Because I'm not telling you how they do it. You got to figure that out yourself. You know what I mean? You figure the intricacies out yourself, but it's going down up in there.
Yeah.
But, hey, Big Hurt, Greg right here from Skyline, kicking some game with you guys. Fresh out.